Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to learn to code a little bit. Look at it go. Alright, let's get that back to full screen. That's probably about as good as it's going to get because it is running in a window. First thing we're going to want is this here terminal. And I think there's an option somewhere to make the text nice and big. Where might that be? Aha. That should do the trick. I should probably be doing this in a container. We'll do that next time. So I think we can get rid of this now. Yeah, alright. Alright, first things first, you got apt update. Upgrade-y. It's going to tell me it updated something essential, and we actually have to reboot. Some kind of kernel update. This is Debian 12 we're using here, for anyone who missed it. Yeah, 99% progress. Look at it go. Oh man, I think it was a kernel update. Alright. Well, you do what you gotta. I think this thing's actually really good at picking out what actually needs to be restarted, but I just pick everything. I don't know if that actually helps or not. I don't feel a lot of shame in saying I'm better than the average person at Linux, but I wouldn't call myself a wizard or anything like that. I guess I got the beard for it. And we'll get that back to nice and full screen. So glad it doesn't show my desktop background. What is behind that? Ah, nothing. Guys ain't missing anything. Oh, and where do they hide the terminal? Back over here. Alright, nice big font. And I already have a folder called coding. Oh, it's called code, and we will dir. I wonder if we should throw this up on GitHub. Maybe. And then we can make our little happy-dappy file. We will call this one the almighty hello world.c. Alright, now we're getting into the juicy stuff. So, first things first, if we're going to print to the terminal, we need the fantastic standard library. Standard io.h. Woohoo. Alright. And then, this is where we get into some optional stuff. I like making main return an int. I think it's a good practice. Bigger, better, longer programs later will pretty much always do that, so might as well get used to it now. I don't think it matters what order the arguments are in. Again, you can skip them for a lot of things, but when you get into bigger, better programs, you will always have an int, argc, and a char double star, argv. That is the argument count and the argument vector, I believe is what those stand for. Okay. They obviously don't matter now because we're not going to use them, but again, bigger, better programs later will use them, so get used to putting them in. And Hello World is super fun because it's super easy. Printf is the right to standard out. I guess you call it a function. And we will just make it say something. How about Hello World is the classic. And then, if you've got any kind of soul or style at all, you add something wacky to it. So, how about kitties in all caps with another exclamation point? Thing that's real easy to forget for new programmers is printf does not include line breaks by default, so you use this little guy. I think it's called an escape sequence with the backslash in the end. That'll insert the new line character that is... I think what character actually gets inserted is defined in printf. So if you're working in Linux, it'll give you the new line character, and if you're a bad person and working in Windows, it'll give you carriage return and line feed. Other thing, super easy to forget, semicolon. And that looks good to me. We're going to compile it and get some errors. That's okay. Errors help us fix things. GCC is what we need, and then ANSI for ANSI compliance. -O for the output file. A lot of executables in Linux don't have file extensions, but when I was in college, our professor put a .o on the end, and he was a super cool old school guy who knew everything, so we'll just do that for now. Input file, I don't believe needs a switch. You just stick it onto the end. Ooh, Hello World. Right. It does not... Oh man, that's a very obvious error. You gotta separate your argument array, argument vector, whatever the term is. You gotta separate them with commas. That's the important part. That's what the comma's there for. Hey! And we give it a little ls there. And we see we've got hello world.o is world executable. Woohoo! Probably don't like that. It's owned by root, so it shouldn't matter that much. Hello world.o. Hello World Kitties. Alright. There's your basic Hello World. This actually came up really short. Let's come up with something else to do. How about... let's give you all a nice little teaser of the majesty that is printf. It's kind of a confusing function to use because its format isn't like a lot of other things. But once you get used to it, it's fine. It's always the different one. That is the short version. So how do we do this? I think it's not a super massive security risk to just go %s will print a string, and then we need an extra argument, and the argument is the string to print. And I think if we put argv0, that gives us the name of the program we're running. And that is something that you will use later with the bigger, badder programs. Look at it go. Yeah, there we go. Printed out the name of itself. Very handy. Um, just note there, it's not the name of the program, it's the name of the command used to invoke it. Um, there's a very famous, I guess you would call it a program or a suite for embedded systems in Alpine. Does Alpine uses it? Yeah. It's called BusyBox, and it's got all these standard Unix tools built into one program, and then the way it decides which one to use is instead of having a bunch of switches and arguments, it's got a bunch of soft links set up, and it reads which command you use to invoke it. So if you run it with the command yes, it'll run the part of itself that does the thing that yes would do. Or, I don't actually know what's all a part of it. I know yes is part of it. Anywho, I think that will do it for now. If y'all like this stuff, we'll do more of it.